Perfect. Well, I think we'll just get going here. Welcome, everyone. We are so glad to have you here at our Accounting Partners demo webinar.
Yep.
And I'm Anna Hunter. I'm the Director of Learning and Development here at JobTread, and I am so excited to be able to join you all here today. I would like to introduce a couple other really important people on this call with us. We have Ashley Coletti. She is our Partner Success Manager here at JobTread. Ashley, why don't you tell them a little bit about your role?
Yeah, definitely. So here at JobTread, I manage all the partner relationships as well as any of our partner marketing that we do through the marketplace, through our other webinars. So I am your point of support if you become a partner here at JobTread. So really excited to host this with Anna and Penny. I know I've met a few of our attendees at the Woodard conference last month, and that was really great for us. Excited to have you guys here, and I've been in contact with a couple of you already, so welcome. And then for those of you who haven't met, it's nice to see your names pop up in the chat, and we're really excited to give you some great information here. And I'm also really excited for Penny to join us. So she is a current accounting partner with JobTread and has been integral to our program and helping us get everything set up so that it provides a lot of benefit to accountants and bookkeepers wanting to work with our JobTread users. Penny, did you want to quickly introduce yourself to folks on our webinar today?
Yeah, absolutely. I am Penny Lane, and my company is Penny Lane U. I've been doing construction accounting for 20 plus years, like many of you. And like many of you, I was in desktop for the longest time. And I looked for so long for the perfect app to accompany QuickBooks Online to give us the same or even better results than we're getting out of desktop. And when I found JobTread, I was hooked immediately. And I'd love to share JobTread with anyone and everyone. Like it is in my opinion, for almost all contractors, like the best software. I'm particularly passionate about their customer service support and their support of accountants. And, the fact that you guys are bringing me in on this and that JobTread has been so open to consulting with me from the beginning just kind of goes back to what the philosophy and the culture is like at JobTread. And it's a very much collaborative software. I tried to contact so many other third-party apps to say like, hey, can I even get a sample company? And then as soon as I contacted JobTread, here we are collaborating and you're getting my input on things like how to create your WIP report. So JobTread really listens to and all your development being based, most of your development being based on user feedback. Like this is the kind of company that JobTread is. Like they want to know what we have to say and they actually listen to you, my fellow accountants. And so that's my little spiel. At Penny Lane U, I have the Facebook group, Penny Lane's construction accounting learn share and grow, but we work almost exclusively with JobTread customers now, working with them on consulting and training around the integration with QuickBooks Online, JobTread remodels, and fractional CFO work. So we don't do day-to-day bookkeeping, but JobTread customers keep us really busy at Penny Lane U. So I also do help accountants and bookkeepers. That's a large contingent of our customers who need assistance with QuickBooks Online or JobTread for that integration.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, Penny. Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
So, well, let's dive in. So, for those of you who maybe are unfamiliar with JobTread, we are an all-in-one construction management software. We were founded in 2021 and are all based in Dallas, Texas. So our entire team is here. We we sit right next to each other. There's no offshore, no nearshore. Everyone is in the same building, and it really allows us to move quickly and nimbly as we're supporting clients and partners on any challenge or any problem that we need to help them solve. So it's been a really great dynamic to be in office here in Dallas. The software is an end-to-end construction management software for contractors. Eric Fortenberry, our founder, really built it on the mission to make sure that every contractor knows their numbers. And that they are able to see the inside of their financials and be able to grow their business by having that knowledge. And so we really are rooted in job costing and estimating, but we can handle from pre-construction all the way through to the end of the project for those contractors. And our software has been recognized for this through a number of awards. We've actually received over 560 at this point, and recently won the Best Business Solution Software at IBS 2025, which we're really excited to receive. So it has been a great accomplishment for us, and our user base is rapidly growing. We actually, when we launched in 2021, started out with about 200 customers, and every year since then have just doubled, more than doubled every year, which has been incredible to see the growth and just the impact that JobTread is making in the industry. This month, we reached our 7,000th customer. Woo! So we are really excited to be able to bring, you know, our opportunity of users to you guys. The audience, as I mentioned before, we really serve a diverse group of contractors in the industry, from remodelers to home builders to general contractors, outdoor living, pool, exteriors, roofers. I mean, we run the gamut because the software really is so flexible. It's able to be customized to meet the unique needs of contractors' businesses. Every contractor has their own process, their own way of gathering a lead, sending that estimate, and the software really can handle that. And as Penny mentioned, we have a wonderful customer success team to just be right there to help guide JobTread's users through setup and implementation along the way. So
yeah, and I'd like to add to that too, Ashley, you know, and kind of just bring home the point that we are not a software tool that is going to pigeonhole your clients or construction clients into certain workflows. We understand that every contractor runs their business differently, very differently from one another, and I'm sure you all know that too. And so we decided to build a tool that can kind of accommodate and support all of the unique workflows that they have, rather than telling them how we think they should run their business. And what that means for you all as people who are working with contractors, supporting them with their bookkeeping and accounting, that means that it's flexible for you too. And so we can have this nice sweet spot and help the accounting partners with the contractors have a nice symbiotic relationship in kind of supporting workflows that are unique to that specific business.
Yep, exactly. I think that our audience our audience and the flexibility of the platform really makes it a unique opportunity for all of you. And that's why we built out our partner program. We wanted to bring this to accountants and bookkeepers. And we also heard the need from our users that this is something they don't do. They don't do the accounting. They don't do the bookkeeping. It's like the number one thing where you're getting asked for. Who do you recommend? Who can help me with this? We love JobTread, but we have no idea what we're doing on the accounting and bookkeeping side. So Penny helped us to build out this program, and really it provides for you guys a lot of benefits. So you get to join our partner directory and grow your client base. You can streamline your account management and help clients get up and running quickly on one platform versus knowing multiple platforms. You also can increase your credibility through our bookkeeper certification and earn referral commissions. So I'd like to dive in a bit more about the partner program before we dive into the demo with Anna. So
yeah, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, Penny.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I wanted to just chime in and talk about one of the benefits, which, you know, kind of relates back to this listing in the partner program. But one of the frustrations for us construction accountants, which I'm sure all of you who have this experience can attest to, is that not all construction contractors, when it comes to accounting and bookkeeping, are the highest quality, desirable client level. We get a lot of, you know, very disorganized people, people who expect us to work for really cheap and they don't understand the value of our work. And what I'll say about the working almost exclusively with JobTread customers, which by the way is because those are the customers that are coming to me. I have transferred my business from everybody else to JobTread because I don't have to, I just get JobTread customers. But anyway, aside from all the leads, is that these are quality leads. These are people who are already invested in upgrading their systems, of leveraging technology. They value their numbers, or they would not be getting onto JobTread. And so to me, like, forget about all that marketing I was doing before to the general public. Now, not only have I niched down and simplified my practice by specializing in JobTread, but the quality of the clients that I have that are coming to me are like almost entirely excellent, well qualified clients, people that I want to work for, you know?
Mhm. That's such a good point too, because one thing that we do in leading the training department here at JobTread is every single training is not just how to click buttons in a JobTread to get something done.
Yep.
We actually teach business practices. And so we hire educators to help teach how to run your business, how important it is to keep your numbers front and center. And that is very drastically different than a training team at any other software company I've seen. So we can support that mantra, which then helps them lean on you all to give them more insights and to help them understand how to do it.
Yeah.
That is also a really good point. Like, yes, the quality of leads that I have from JobTread are the JobTread customers are so amazing. They are the almost all of them are just amazing, you know?
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah, we think
Yeah.
they're pretty great too.
Amazing. Yeah.
Our our partner directory is inside the JobTread app. So as an accounting partner, you are going to get to list your business description directly in this directory. It's where our users can learn more about you. They can click through and submit their information through a lead form that will be tagged right on to your listing. And that information will go directly to your email. So it's a great way for you guys to gather leads, and it's also a great way for our users to find out more about your business. In addition, other opportunities to just kind of market your business to our users. All of our accounting partners are invited to join our exclusive Facebook community. It's a really engaged community of all of our users, and they really use it to ask questions about not only the software, but about their business and get help from the community to solve their challenges. Our partners are welcome to engage in all of those conversations, provide their insights, their perspective, and this is just a great way for you all to set yourselves apart and show up as the expert in your field. Again, with that listing in the marketplace, folks are going to see your name in the JobTread Facebook group, and they know to go to the marketplace to look for you. So it is just another great way to engage and another benefit of the accounting program.
Penny, did you have any thoughts in here? Because I know you're very active in the Facebook group.
Yeah, I mean, I'm there genuinely to help people and answer their questions. So it's not like I have some kind of ulterior motive. And I learn a lot too from that group. It helps my business because I hear what the concerns are of the users and, you know, I learn things. But I mean, pretty much every time I make a really helpful comment on somebody's post, I will get some feedback. I'll get emails. I'll get leads. I consistently get leads from JobTread, many every week, you know, at least three to seven, I'd say, about leads that I get from JobTread. And I have noticed, like, if I comment on the Facebook group, people will start contacting me. But also, a lot of times when people contact me, they'll say, "Oh yeah, I've seen you a lot in the Facebook group. You really seem to know what you're talking about." So highly beneficial piece of the program right here, just being a part of this group.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
The another opportunity that all of our partners get is to come to our user conference. It's an annual conference. It happens January every year, called JobTread Connect. We had I think over 800 attendees of our user base last year, and we're expecting up to 1,500 this year. We are really excited, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to have that face-to-face connection with our users, to network, and our sponsors are invited to everything. So if you decide to be a Connect sponsor, it's not just the exhibit hall that you're in. You get to come to every happy hour. You get to be part of the ed sessions. And we actually have a financial education track that you can attend or contribute to. So it's another great way to just build that rapport with our user base. Penny, you've been the last few years?
Yeah.
Yes. So number one, you see me and Michelle there sitting at the table. Like we did not have a minute to breathe. We barely had time to pee. We were so inundated with people. And yes, we had a table, but you know what? The other financial people milling around, I mean, the number of people who are there looking for help with the financial side of this and the integration side of this is really huge. And it's such a great way to make deep connections too. With some of the JobTread users, we definitely got many clients out of that situation and developed some really nice relationships. Plus, it is one of the best conferences I've ever been to.
Thank you.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
The community is so great. It's fun. There's so much to learn. It's just an awesome conference. Anyway, it's a great time.
I completely agree. And the coolest part about the conference too is that everyone is there to connect with each other. That's why it's called Connect. And everyone's there to learn. And so you have a lot of really great open minds that are there and they're looking for help. And that is just a nice position for them to be in when they're engaging with you.
Yeah.
So all of those opportunities are available to you to generate leads, get to know our users, and then with the program, you'll get an instance of JobTread. So this is your sandbox that you can go in, you can play around, and what that also allows you to do is to get connected into your client's instance of JobTread. So we have a really great integration called the Connected Orgs, and here you can create a link, send to your clients, they'll approve your access, and right up at the top left of the app, that JobTread logo, you can click and go to any one of your clients' instance of JobTread. This has made it really easy to get in there, help them set up their cost catalog, help them integrate into QuickBooks, and so it is just really nice versus having individual seats in everybody's account and having to keep up with all of those individual logins. So this makes it really seamless for you guys.
Yeah, and then your clients don't even have to pay for a seat for you to be in their organization.
Yep.
Instead, using Connected Orgs, you can pop into their organizations with their permission, of course, but they're not paying anything extra, anything additionally, and you're not either. So it's a really great tool.
So we have our bookkeeper certification.
Yes, this is one of my favorite parts. That's why she's letting me cover this one. No. So our JobTread Bookkeeper certification was built specifically for the accounting program. We wanted to make sure that you all felt confident and comfortable with understanding the JobTread side of things, as well as the QuickBooks and JobTread integration, and even the integration with Gusto, for example, like the payroll management system. So we wanted to make sure that you felt confident so that when you're working with your clients, you are the expert, right? So this is all part of the Accounting Partner Program. You become a JobTread Bookkeeper certified, and it covers this series of topics listed right here. And it is taught by myself and Penny Lane. So it's a series of videos, it's on demand, and you go through that, and then you get a nice badge to put on your website or also on your email. And again, it's just to bring that credibility to your clients or prospects.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, you get to earn referral commissions as a partner. So we want you to spread the word of JobTread, bring over your clients, and anyone you bring over to JobTread, you will get 10% of their subscription for the first 12 months. So it's a really great benefit of the program, and just want to show our gratitude that you're bringing over folks to the JobTread software. So, for the Accounting Partner Program, we have priced it at a discount so that it is approachable for you all to participate. It's $99 per month versus the $199, and you also get the first 2 months free. And that first 2 months free is very intentional. We know it's a new system. We know you need to get through that certification, so we want you guys to have the time to get in, feel it out, play with the sandbox, see how things integrate, and really make sure it's a right fit for you, your clients, and your business. So that 2 months we feel like is a great time for you to do that. And then once you're through the certification, you get set up into the directory listing and you're off to the races. Penny, what has your experience been? As I know you talked about it a little bit at the beginning, but I feel like you've been a partner of ours for a while. And so I think that
Specifically with the referrals, how has that gone for you?
I mean, like I said, my business went from 0 JobTread customers to 100% customers, and my business doubled. So I hired someone, and this is all just from JobTread referrals. I don't do any other outside marketing, and I don't really do a lot of marketing with JobTread outside of I answer questions on the Facebook group. I'm in the marketplace, and I did the Connect this year, had the booth there, but that's pretty much it. So the number of referrals I get are tons. We don't do day-to-day bookkeeping. So personally, I refer out, probably 2 to 6 people a week to other bookkeepers and who are in the marketplace. That's how high the demand is. And I have had the opportunity to refer clients to JobTread. And so of course my commissions more than covers what any of this costs, not to mention how much this pays for itself. And we all know as accountants, like we need to have our own account. Like we need to be able to connect it to QuickBooks and test it and play with it and know what it does. So even that is valuable. But the connected orgs, being able to have that accountant level kind of account, I guess is what we would call it, is great. I mean, I just pop in and out of people's job treads all day long, just like you would do with QuickBooks Online.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was a really great point that you made about the referral commissions, is that does help to offset the
It
monthly
does.
cost of the program. So it's really a great benefit of the partner
Yeah.
program.
More than covers it.
Great. And one thing that's really important for you to understand too is what your clients can expect. So if you did refer your clients over to JobTread, this is what you know that they will have for supporting them. First of all, they're getting an all-in-one software, so they can manage the entire project lifecycle, not just the financials, but also the scheduling, the daily logs, the day-to-day operations of the jobs they can manage in JobTread. And I'll show you that in just a moment. Also, they're going to get that native integration with QuickBooks Online, which is so special because it was guided by accountants when we built it. So we know that we're not the experts in the QuickBooks field. So we decided to, contact the people who are. And we had all of the accountants guide our development. And we're still having people like Penny guide the development with that integration. Also, every customer that we have gets a dedicated customer success manager, and that person has construction experience. We will only hire people in our success manager role or in our training roles who have construction experience, because it's somewhat easy to talk the talk, but when you actually have walked the walk in the past, it's a lot easier and a lot more enriching, engaging with our clients and helping them through it. Also, we have extremely responsive support. Oh my gosh, sometimes too responsive, some would say, where they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't expect a response today. And so our support team is just super helpful, and they want to make sure that no one is waiting on them. So they do a fantastic job. Additionally, we will help your clients with data migration. So if they're coming from another tool or if they're coming from Excel spreadsheets, then we will import their customer list, their vendor lists, all of their cost codes, their cost catalogs, so any pricing data that they have, as well as schedule templates. And so therefore, when they get into JobTread, they already have their data in there. They can just start, going and using the system. Additionally, we offer daily live trainings. So every business day, we offer at least 2 different trainings on different topics. And that means that a trainer is there ready to answer questions that the attendees have. So we have several people attend those group trainings, and it's really exciting. And then lastly, their access to the incredible JobTread Pro community. I think that is one thing that many people don't expect when they come to JobTread is they think they're just getting a software, but no, they are getting so much more. And that is the family that comes along with it, whether they like it or not. So we are here to help each other out. And our goal is to position our users to do peer-to-peer learning as much as possible. That is a huge priority of ours because you all learning from each other is probably the best thing that can happen. So very excited about that.
Yeah, can I say something too real quick as far as the customer service goes?
Yeah.
We also get help. So, if sometimes I have to ask a question that I don't know the answer to provide the answer to my client, and it's nice to be able to do that to get that customer support from JobTread too. We can all relate to software where you know, all you can do is submit a ticket. It's just not helpful. Like I want an email, I want a phone number. And so we also get very responsive support as accounting partners. And in fact, I feel like we get, you know, um, you're really passionate about supporting your accounting partners. I appreciate that.
That's fantastic. I'm so glad to hear that, Penny. And
Yeah.
that's our goal is we don't want to just leave you,
Yeah.
high and dry. Good luck. No, we are definitely here for you at all times. You bet. So I do see some questions coming through, and so that's fantastic. Make sure that you use that Q&A tool in order to ask your questions. That way we won't miss them, and we will have a full Q&A session toward the end. Thank you. All right, well, let's dive right into a demo of JobTread so you can kind of see JobTread in action. I'm just going to keep it very high level, but of course, if you have more questions, add them to the Q&A box, and we'll get those answered toward the end. But I think it's important that you kind of know what JobTread even looks like. So let's just get started with our demo. So this is an example of our JobTread home screen. Your users or any JobTread users have the ability to set up different dashboards on their home screens. So here they can choose exactly what numbers make the most sense for them to be tracking. And so as you can see, you can set up different dashboards. They're extremely responsive. And then you can choose which people in your organization can see those dashboards. So as you all are thinking about how can we report on numbers in JobTread, well, hey, this is also available to you to then have like a dashboard in your client's accounts where then you can duck into that dashboard and take a look at it as well. Then, of course, we have tons of tools here that walk through the entire job life cycle. I'm just going to start just popping into this job though. Here in our jobs directory, we have all of our jobs listed by status. So your users, all of our JobTread customers can easily move jobs between statuses. They can keep track of them. And then we also have some automations coming for them as well. And then there are different ways that they can organize their jobs. And one of those ways is through the WIP report. The WIP report is going to be showing all of the jobs with all their financial information. And so this is a really great view because not only can you just view it in a static form like this, but you can click this gear icon, and this allows you to choose exactly what data you want to include into that table and get your timeline down for your WIP report. But also you can turn on or off different fields. You can set up filters, and this really allows you to curate a WIP report that is usable. So Penny, I'm going to kind of pause here just in case you wanted to chime in on the WIP report real quick.
Yeah, I just want to say that JobTread consulted with us accountants to create the WIP report so that we could create that cutoff date particularly, and we could even create a cutoff date for the time that is shown through. I mean, having a real time but also dateable WIP report that's super customizable is absolutely amazing. Like, I mean, I'd spend hours preparing WIP reports on spreadsheets and stuff. So this is absolutely outstanding. And the other softwares that I've worked with, the problem was they didn't have a cutoff date. So I could look at my WIP today, but I couldn't backdate it to enter it into my accounting system for my month end. So yeah, thank you for
Yeah,
that.
we probably
Okay.
wouldn't have built that cutoff date into it without talking to you, Penny. So thank you for that. Also, let's just pop into one of our jobs here. So I'm going to go over to this one over here that's in the job costing phase. So once a customer or a client is in the job, they will then see a dashboard that has a nice financial summary. And then, of course, an activity feed. This is like their paper trail for their entire project, so they can keep track of everything in one spot. But then, of course, they have the budget. The budget is our favorite part of JobTread. In fact, this is the part that we built first in the system because we knew we had to keep numbers front and center. So as you can see, we have all of our cost items, and then we have an estimating section of our budget. That's where they build out the estimate for the job. And of course, we have all of our bid requests in there. Then when we scroll further to the right, we have our job costing. This is where we make sure that we have a paper trail for every single number that appears in the job costing section. I'm sure many of you have worked with contractors before who have an Excel spreadsheet, and you ask, where did that number come from? And they have no clue, right? Well, that's not the case here. So if you see a number in here, there's a paper trail that leads up to that number, and you can just click on the document to see exactly what that is for. So it's a really, really great tool within the system. We make sure that we have paper that backs up the numbers. And then, of course, they can track all of their hours in here. So if their employees want to clock in and out of JobTread, all of the hours and all the labor costs are tracked directly in the budget. And then furthermore, we have our invoicing section. Within invoicing, this is where you can track all of your receivables. And then we have our profits that are tracked throughout the job. So within the profits, you'll see here too that we're seeing where we're off track. So at this time, we are not meeting our targeted profit margin because we did go over budget on some items. And we can see that red flag is thrown here. So that just allows us in a fixed price job to be able to submit change orders, or in a cost plus job, of course, you're going to just pass along those added fees to the customer. So that's definitely a possibility. Now, my favorite part about the budget is that everybody likes to see it in a different way, and we can accommodate that. So if you ever wanted to adjust what is shown in the budget, you can turn on and off budget columns, and this allows you to make your budget comfortable for you and your client. So you could have a view, your clients could have a view, and therefore you can track exactly what you need to within the budget, and it's in a comfortable space for you.
Yeah, so I mean, this is one of the best parts. Not only is the ability to have budget views of the budget super dynamic. I mean, all of us who worked with QuickBooks desktop customers constantly asking us, can I add committed costs? Can I add this? Can I add that? It's like, no, it's just this what it is. This one you can slice and dice it in so many ways. And if you click the drop down, you can have, you could have, I don't know how many different budget views, but where you can see there's a whole bunch of different views. So you can create it just the way you want it and just the way you want to see different aspects of the project too, which is great for them and for us, as you said.
Yeah, and you can even organize. And so here I'm viewing by cost group that I established, but I can also choose to organize all of my items by cost code instead. And those cost codes, Penny will talk about here soon, those will match the products and services in QuickBooks. So we have those connections there to help your customer kind of use the similar tools that you're used to using on the accounting backend. Great. And then, of course, we do have takeoff tools so they can measure directly on plans and put those measurements right in the budget to do takeoff. We have full messaging capabilities, and then we do have all of the documents listed here, and you can see quick aggregates for all of your documents as well. And then we have the selections component. So if your clients are having their clients make selections, then we do handle all types of selections, pre-contract, during contract, and post-contract selections with allowances. We do have specifications to get important information out to the field. And then, of course, we have a full scheduling system too. And then just to kind of finish us off, we have our to-dos list. And this to-dos list is nice because they can assign to-dos to you too, if they need to. And then they have daily logs. They're tracking all of their time, of course, for this particular job. And then they have a file storage and management system. And then lastly, I suppose you all would be interested in the report section. This is where you get nice summaries for all of the reporting here. So that's just a quick overview of a single job. And as you can see, it's packed full of resources, tools, and information. And then when you're looking at anything from the main navigation, this will pull everything from all your jobs in one place. So I like the documents tool. This is really helpful because now I can sift through all documents across all jobs. I'm not having to dip into every single job to find what I'm looking for, but rather I can just use these views to say, okay, where are all the invoices? Where are all of the bills? And maybe I want to see all of my payable bills only. So now you can set up filters and really create those custom views that are beneficial for you and also your contractor clients. And then, of course, lastly, we have quick pull reports. If you needed to pull any reports from the system, we will never hold data hostage. We are firm believers in making sure that you have every opportunity to pull numbers from the system that you need. So we're we prioritize that in many ways. And then lastly, I'll just show you quick in our settings here. We do have the integration section, and this is where you can manage your QuickBooks Online integration. You'll notice here it has all of the options to set it up and to get everything mapping. And so I'm actually going to hand over the microphone to Penny to continue discussing the integrations here. But just know that in the JobTread settings, actually managing that integration is extremely easy.
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things about the JobTread integration is that if something goes awry, or something unexpected shows up in QuickBooks or whatever, it's pretty simple to track it back down because the integration is pretty straightforward and pretty simple. We're not getting weird lump journal entries over there. We're literally a transaction by transaction, real time, bi-directional for most things, integration. So, and I'm sure that, we all have a lot of like really detailed questions, but the long and the short of it is that um, uh, the integration, like I said, is bidirectional. It's real time. It's per transaction. So a bill in JobTread is going to be a bill in QuickBooks Online, an invoice, and yeah. And so this kind of shows you the place. The only thing that is not bidirectional really is that you're going to set up your customers in JobTread and sync them to QuickBooks. They don't go the other way. You're going to set up you're going to create your customer invoices in JobTread, which you want to do anyway because it's way better in there. And then those will sync to QuickBooks. So we don't get the budget or the estimate anywhere in QuickBooks, and we don't need it. All the job costing stuff is happening over here. Also, time entries do not go from QuickBooks to JobTread, only the other way. But everything else really is very bi-directional. I can't think of a better integration that I've come across really. I mean, it's a really excellent
Yeah, I know that
integration.
is saying a
Yeah.
lot. Yes.
Yeah,
Well, and
it
I
really
think that
is.
Penny, you kind of alluded to something that that many of our users actually ask us is what do we do in JobTread versus what do we do in QuickBooks? And a lot of them are like, why doesn't my budget go over to QuickBooks? And so would you mind kind of mentioning that delineation and where you have found the sweet spot?
Yeah, so as far as customers and jobs, that is set up in JobTread, usually at the lead stage. A lot of people are using JobTread in different capacities. I mean, there's a lot of variation there, but essentially the concept is that the customer job is going to get set up in the lead phase in JobTread, right? So you wouldn't want that to be set up in QuickBooks. And so that's why we start with the customer information in JobTread. And then the invoices, creating customer invoices in JobTread only makes sense because we're creating the invoice from the budget and we don't have the budget in QuickBooks. We don't need the budget in QuickBooks because we're not doing any budget reporting over there. So that all perfectly ties when it comes to cost entry. So bills and expenses and all that. It's great because you can do that in JobTread or you can do it in QuickBooks Online, like whatever works best for your company and your situation. As you mentioned earlier, JobTread is super flexible that way. Like try to make it work for as many people as possible. And time entries, again, it only makes sense that it comes from JobTread and goes into QuickBooks because in JobTread, the job costing is based on hours and time. And so it's very simple, hours and time. Um, and I find that the integration is really excellent. If I delete a bill in JobTread, it's going to delete it out of QuickBooks and vice versa.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great integration. Very little hassle, I guess is what you'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
and
little hassle.
typically when I train people, just to make it simple, I say anytime that money's actually moving, we track it in QuickBooks too. And
Yeah,
that's the main thing. All the planning happens in JobTread though, and it keeps your QuickBooks clean. And therefore
yes.
it's not all mucked up with purchase orders and everything else that's a planning type document or a planning budget, but rather it's when money is actually moving, and that's the most important part on the accounting end.
Exactly. And someone actually put in the Q&A, well, it seems like JobTread does everything, but that's not entirely true. JobTread handles everything project-based, but we still need QuickBooks for the financial reporting, for our bank account reconciling our bank account, managing our payables and our receivables. We're still doing that, all of that stuff in QuickBooks. But JobTread takes all that project complicated stuff out of QuickBooks and keeps things simple for us over on the accounting side.
Yes, completely
Yeah.
agree. And I'll also say too, with the invoices, just a quick note, we do allow for the QuickBooks Pay Now button to be on the invoice in JobTread so that when a client of your customers wants to pay, they can click that button and it will bring them to QuickBooks to still use the QuickBooks payment feature. So there definitely, there's some unique pieces, it's not all cut and dry, that make this even more flexible.
Yeah, so if you want to use like your QuickBooks Payments merchant account to receive payments, that that is totally possible. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay.
So that is end of the demo and integration section. Those of you asking in the chat how to become a partner, here are your steps. You can scan the QR code here in the corner of this screen. There's a little application. It'll come directly to me, and then you and I will set up a chat to just help me understand more about your business. And once we do that, you'll get approved to become a partner, and you can get your unique sign up link, your referral code, and begin going through your certification. The certification is about, let's say, maybe 2 hours to complete. And it is, once you're done, you are certified. There's not an annual certification you need to go through every year. If we do update the certification, we'll let you know so you can go in there, see what's been updated, anything else you might need to know. But it is truly a one-time certification that you need to go through, and you get that badge. And then you can start using your referral link, start bringing your customers over, or if you know anybody who's not your customer, and maybe this is a nice little carrot to get them to come over and say, I'm JobTread certified now, let's get started. You can do that. And then also we can begin building out your marketplace listing so those leads can come to you from the JobTread app. And from there, we'll grow your business together. We've been talking a lot about community too, and I think that our community has just been such a great resource for us, especially our partners, as we've grown JobTread. And I know Penny has been integral to that, and she has a ton of really great insights and resources and knowledge to share. Penny, I know you had mentioned your Penny Lane U at the beginning, but I wanted you to have a chance to talk about that.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So we, as I said before, we primarily support JobTread and QuickBooks Online clients. We do a lot of consulting and training. I have some really great things that I've created, like the integration assessment, where I work with clients to if they're having problems with their integration. We do a lot of JobTread remodels where we fix their integrations and their setup between QuickBooks Online and JobTread. We also do a lot of desktop to online migration. There's a huge potential there because I will say that the integration with JobTread and desktop is not great, and it's really not intended to be. And Eric said actually that Intuit asked him not to develop that any further. But I think it's obvious to all of us why we wouldn't develop that integration. So it's a minimal integration with desktop, as most third-party apps are. And so a lot of people that come into JobTread are motivated to move from desktop to online. And additionally, because now JobTread is taking all the heavy lifting off of the job costing they were doing in desktop anyway, so they don't need it anymore. And now they can advance on. So we do a lot of that kind of work. And we also act as fractional CFOs. So I'm very heavy on training. We don't do day-to-day bookkeeping. That's why I do a lot of referrals to day-to-day bookkeepers. And that's just the people that are coming to me for something that I don't even do. So there was a little question. I shouldn't be answering questions yet, but I'm answering questions. Somebody asked, like, well, how likely is it me, a newbie, to get customers from JobTread? And, that's kind of a hard question to answer. I couldn't say for sure, but I would say that I do believe there's like 300 to 500 new JobTread customers every month signing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's a lot of customers. And a lot of them are really looking for someone who knows JobTread and can help them with their bookkeeping because it's such a transition for them. They're like, oh my gosh, I'd really love to have somebody who already knows this who can help me. So we couldn't say like, oh yeah, you're definitely going to get tons of leads every week. But I will say that the number of new JobTread users is incredible compared to the number of people in the marketplace.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's such a true statement there, Penny. And I monitor the Facebook group, and so I see people posting almost daily about
Mhm.
with questions about specifically bookkeeping and accounting topics, but also about just, hey, I need a bookkeeper. Any recommendations? And so
Yeah.
that's where your involvement in the community and responding to people's posts where they're just questions, and then you can show that you know what you're talking about. What a great opportunity. I mean, marketing only goes so far nowadays.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
being able to actually like put the proof in the pudding, I think that it really is a unique way to really kind of get connected to those clients for sure.
Yeah. And if you're not already in our Facebook group, the Construction Accountants Learn, Share, and Grow is a very active Facebook group. We keep the spam out. It's really just for supportive questions. It's not specifically JobTread, it's for all construction accountants. And you can find us at jobcosting.com. That's me and Michelle. We are Penny Lane U at this point, performing all that stuff. And we love working with JobTread and JobTread customers, really.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Hey, well, let's hit our Q&A inbox. We have about 10 minutes here. And just so you guys know, if we don't hit your question, don't worry. I will send out this webinar recorded in an email, and I'll give you the link where you can apply and get a meeting with me, and we can go over any additional questions that you might have. So happy to do that. Okay, so let's see. This one, oh, can you cover the client price?
Yeah. Yeah. That's important, huh?
Yeah.
In fact, let me go ahead and just pop over to our website here because I think it's best if you just see it. We have very transparent pricing. So for the JobTread users, it is $199 per month, and that includes the first internal user. Each additional user is $20 more a month. So each additional internal user means the people using the nuts and bolts of the system. They are not having to pay for their customers, their clients, or their vendors, or their subcontractors. It's just the $199 per month plus $20 for each additional user. We also do have an annual plan where they can knock off 20% off the total each month. And so if they switch to that annual plan, it saves them quite a bit of money. I would highly suggest going to this jobtread.com/pricing page, and then there's a calculator. And so since it's based on the number of users or how big their team is, then you can just go ahead and use this calculator to see what the total will be. We do not bucket our pricing by features because you need to kind of have access to everything to run your business. Why would we limit your ability to effectively run your business? So our business model is purely based on user count, so that we can remain affordable for the independent business owners and operators, but also scale up for the larger companies. And so we just think it's the fairest deal.
Mhm.
I will mention too, there's this nice video here that is made by our founder and CEO, and he talks about our pricing structure. And it's very transparent. So we would welcome you to check it out.
And users are like people who have to clock in. Those do count as users. That's a big question because some place. So like the admin in the office, the project managers, and the employees also who have to clock in. Those are users.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Very good point.
But very reasonable. Much
Yes.
less expensive than some of our competitors, I would say.
Enough said. Yep.
Yeah.
This one is about WIP reporting. So how does it handle WIP for jobs that span multiple years and realize gain and loss in the year the job is closed?
Well, I mean, you're running the WIP report is real time, but you can choose to backdate it. So whatever date you backdate that to, it's like that is year to date. So if I wanted to see what was the over under billing on that project as of 12/31/24, I just backdate it to 12/31/24. It's that simple. It's just yeah. I hope that answers the question because I'm not super clear on what the question really is, but yeah, I think that's it.
I think so.
Can you do AIA invoicing through JobTread?
That is a great question. So we are continuing to work on that portion. I'm assuming that you are working with commercial clients potentially or general contractors. And so we're continuing to work through that. Right now, you can accomplish it, but it is a little bit of a workaround. So we want to do it and do it right. So therefore, we're continuing to do some research to make sure that we can cover that in a future development.
Okay. This one is asking about transferring existing JobTread clients to the accountant platform. So I think we maybe just want to clarify that
Yes.
this there is not a separate accountant platform that you need to transfer your clients to. So that is what's great about the partner program is that you get into that connected org, your client stays in their org, and you can just toggle right into it. They don't need to move anywhere because you are able to access their instance of JobTread.
Yes, exactly. So essentially, you are just going to send out your child connection link here. It's with your slug on it. And then you send that to your existing JobTread clients. They click the link. It asks them, do you want to give permission to you to then access their organization? They say yes. And then they can set up certain permission levels for you. And then you'll have your full list of organizations here. So it's correct. They don't need to really convert anything. They just click that link and give you access.
Just like somebody inviting you to QuickBooks Online Accountant, except for we don't actually really have to do anything on our end. Once they invite us, we're in. That's it.
Great.
Yeah.
Yep. I think this question is pretty interesting about the types of leads. So, yeah, are JobTread users looking for bookkeeping services or just consultants? How realistic is it to add 2 to 5 bookkeeping clients monthly? Penny, with the folks that are coming your way, with your listing, I'm sure you're talking about the services that you're offering, but I know that you often get asked about bookkeeping services. So that's something like how many of those clients are you getting?
I mean, we get 3 to 7 leads a week, and I probably refer out an average of, I'd say, 2 or 3 on average customers to other people for bookkeeping. I'm helping them with the consulting. So we just do strictly consulting CFO. And then there's a bunch of people that also want bookkeeping. And like Anna said, every day there's somebody in the pros group asking about bookkeeping. And of course, JobTread says, hey, check out our marketplace. And in fact, I love how you even highlighted the other day, like, hey, check out our accountants and bookkeepers in our marketplace in a whole posting. So I think it's extremely realistic to add 2 to 3 new bookkeeping clients a month, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you are doing your due diligence and staying engaged, right?
Yeah.
So there's kind of this notion too of people thinking that they can do it on their own or that their mother can do it for them or
Yeah.
that, and then but if they're asking those kind of questions on Facebook, that's an opportunity for you to respond with a really proactive response that maybe they hadn't considered before. And it might make them think, actually, I think we better hire out. So there are great opportunities to kind of help them come to the moment of realizing that they might need additional help as well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Another software question. Is Gusto the only payroll system that JobTread has integrated with?
Great question. So Gusto is definitely one option, but then we also do integrate with QuickBooks Payroll. So those are the 2 that we have a native integration with. We do know several people, however, that export their timesheets and then import them into another tool that maybe we don't have a native integration with.
Wonderful. Let's see. Can you pay vendors from JobTread?
Not at the moment. Nope. We are only that would have to be a third-party system at this time, and we are only going to be bringing on third-party systems that we know well and that we trust very much. And so we are in search of and keeping our options open with finding a third-party system that can help us accomplish the paying out through JobTread. But until we actually find a third party that we trust really well and that will treat you all very well and your clients very well, then we're going to hold off on that until that time comes. So of course, we're always open to it, but I would say that paying out would happen through QuickBooks at this time.
Okay. What about receiving payments from clients?
Yes, so we have our own native integration with Stripe payments as a payroll processor. So your clients can pay directly through JobTread. In fact, on their invoice itself, it will give them the options you choose if you want them to be able to pay with credit card, debit card, or ACH bank transfer. And then if you would like to, however, you can enable that QuickBooks Pay Now button on your invoices where then they click it and it goes straight into QuickBooks for them to pay through there too.
Wonderful. Can staff time track per project within JobTread?
Yes, that is one of the best parts about our timekeeping is that it is, they clock into JobTread as a whole and they can do that right from the mobile app. And then they are choosing the job that they're clocking into. And so that way, then you can truly track all your labor costs against your budget in real time. That is the whole point of job costing, is to make sure that you're tracking your expenses real time against your budget. And so we made sure that that was a possibility within our timekeeping tool.
Okay, another question. This is about projects.
Okay, I'm ready.
So can you explain the projects? So I know it does not create a project unless it is already in QuickBooks. Is that correct?
Now, here's the question, Penny. I would be curious, maybe, do you think that they're talking about projects in QuickBooks?
Yeah, I think they're talking about QuickBooks projects.
Okay.
What was the question specifically?
It says, can you explain the projects? I know it does not create a project unless it is already done in QuickBooks. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. So the project's integration is limited because of Intuit's API access to that, which, by the way, they are opening up, but I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. So there may be an integration in the near future, but right now, you set up the customer job in JobTread, and when you have the project's preference turned on in your settings for integrations, then you set it up in QuickBooks Online, then you go back to JobTread and you connect them together. That's as complicated as it is. So some people do still like to use the projects feature in QuickBooks Online. It's totally possible.
And I'm so glad that you mentioned that it is opening up because even just today over our team lunch meeting, our developer who works specifically on this integration, he said that he's already looking into the ability to create projects through the API. So we are already on top of it. And as soon as that comes out, we will be jumping on it as soon as possible.
Cool. Got that.
Let's see. I think we have time for maybe one more question here. We just hit the 4 o'clock. Okay. Let's see. We talked about. So I've got a couple of questions in here about our partner program requiring a website for your business. So I think what I'd like to do is meet with you and talk about the services that you provide. We definitely can get you listed in our directory without a website for that. And I think we just want to make sure that you're set up for success as those leads are coming your way. So I know a lot of our users are going to do some research, and so they do find a website very helpful to learn more after they've read your directory listing. So I would still love to chat with you and see what we can do and how we can make it a great fit for you and help you get engaged with our program. So yes, please, please, please scan the barcode and set up a time with me. I'd love to talk to you.
Great. Yeah. I do see one here that asks, how easy is it for contractors to use JobTread on their end? And I will tell you that it can be as easy as they want it to be, or as in-depth as they want it to be. The system's so customizable where they even have the opportunity to turn off a bunch of features that they don't want to use so that they can really focus on what's important to their business. So we are here to support them in every step of their journey, and we have a full training curriculum that walks them through every component of JobTread. In fact, we do in-person boot camp events that are 2 days long where they can learn all the basics in one sitting. So we have heard great responses from JobTread users saying that JobTread was pretty easy to pick up and their team is actually using it. So that's the most important part. If your team's not using the system, then it's not going to work for you. So we hear that their team members respond really, really well to JobTread and pick it up pretty darn quickly. So if you would like to have your client do a demo with JobTread, they can always go to our website and schedule a demo there so they can see it for themselves.
So, Penny, I think this one might be for you. Are AP invoices entered in JobTread or in QuickBooks?
Either.
Very nice.
Great.
Are you able to track certifications of insurance for subcontractors?
Yes, this is one of my favorite things. Let me show you real quick. I have a lot of favorites because I love this system, but I'm realizing I'm saying that a lot. But the nice part here is they also have a vendor directory, and all of their vendors can be listed. Right now I have them listed and organized by rating. But when we pop into, let's see, one of my vendors here, here we go. Here's a vendor account, and in the vendor account, I can then add in custom fields to track anything I need to. So I'm tracking when the COI expires, when the workers' comp expires, if their W-9's on file. I also can save those in the files section. So here I can have all their paperwork saved. And then my favorite view that I've ever set up here in the vendor directory is my outdated paperwork view. This is my naughty list of all of the vendors whose COI and workers' comp and W-9 is out of compliance. So now we can keep track of it and we know exactly who not to work with or who to stop work with. So very much doable.
Let's see. I think we have another one about tracking time. And oh, it just went away.
Okay.
Okay. All right then.
I see there's one. Does JobTread have e-signature capability for change orders? Yes. Every single document in JobTread has the e-signature option. It's legally binding, and we do track the IP address for where that signature came from. So it will hold up in court if there are any issues. You bet.
I know we're over time, but I have a question I really love to answer live.
Yes.
If you don't mind. Okay,
Yeah.
so someone wants to know how difficult it is to bring existing job data from QuickBooks into JobTread for new contractors to JobTread. This is super simple. So one of the things is JobTread does not reach back and pull any data out. You don't have to worry about that. We're starting fresh. What I do is I get the to-date job cost data and the to-date invoice data. I enter one big bill, market paid. I enter one big invoice, market paid, and boom, I am in JobTread with all my job cost data, leaving exactly off where QuickBooks or whatever my other system is.
Oh, that was beautiful, Penny.
Yeah, I want to say that real quick, but that's a good question.
Yeah,
Big one for us. Yeah.
Definitely.
Let's see. Another question about our certification. So is the training available for our staff once we are a partner? So yes, you can absolutely have your staff take the certification. The certification is tied to each unique email though. And so there is, once one email has taken the certification, it cannot be reset. So you would need to set up another user for your staff in order for them to take the certification under a separate email. So absolutely though, if you would like your staff to take the certification, we would love them to be knowledgeable about all of the ways that JobTread integrates with QuickBooks and how it's set up with Gusto.
There was a question that did come in. This webinar is for bookkeeping businesses. I'm a bookkeeper as an employee of a construction business. The certification I already have, is there anything for a non-partner program? Well, of course, the bookkeeper certification is exactly what you did. That is fantastic. I would also recommend joining the chat on our JobTread Pros Facebook group for accountants and bookkeepers. That way you can connect directly with accountants and bookkeepers if you have any questions or if you have ideas. It's a great place for idea sharing as well. And then, of course, when you attend the JobTread Connect user conference in January, we do have the financial track, and that is typically taught by accountants and bookkeepers. So that would be advantageous for you to join as well.
Super quick question is there a need to recertify every year? I think you just do it once and you're good, right? Okay.
Correct. And if we do make massive changes to it, then we'll go ahead and send an email out to you all to let you know that the changes are there, but it will not remove your certification at that time. You can just go re-review the certification with those changes. Fantastic. Any additional questions that others have? Seeming like we are nearing the end, right? Good. Is this being recorded? And will people watch it?
Yes, we will have it. We will have the email recording sent to you no later than tomorrow. So check your email inbox. The email that you registered for this webinar is where that will go.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
Thank you all so much
Amazing
for
job.
attending. Yes, and we look forward to having you as part of the JobTread family. When you reach out, Ashley's going to be your point person, but Penny and I will see you in the JobTread Pros Facebook group, and I'm sure many other places as well.
Yes.
So thank you all so much for joining, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.